think Black women need to lean into in coming into Africa. Women from the diaspora, Caribbean, UK, Canada, Germany, wherever. If you're living in a society where you do not feel appreciated, recognized, or valued, you need to go where you are valued, and you're valued here in Africa.
Hey you guys, welcome back to Full Soul Travel. So I'm here at Xodus house with Renae, and this house is stunning. Woo! You have to see it yourself. So I'm just gonna be here with her. I'm gonna ask her a couple of questions and just kind of dig a little deeper why she started this place and the vision that she has for the future and why you should be here also. So, hi Renae.
Hi, how are you, gorgeous?
Good.
Okay, so my name is Renae. I go by Renae X on YouTube. I started this project specifically to provide a space for African Americans and a face for them to attach Africa to, okay? And not just African Americans, people from the diaspora. I am Jamaican. I was born in Jamaica. And if you know anything about Jamaicans, it is kind of entrenched in our culture to repatriate to Africa. And so, you know, just trying to figure out how I would do that took up a lot of years and a lot of time and a lot of energy that was wasted and spent in America. And I couldn't see how I was going to do that. And so during COVID, I was like, okay, it's now or never. And once I got here, I felt a tremendous amount of guilt and shame for how many years I spent in the United States.
Wait, and so why did you feel that guilt and shame?
Because I felt like I lost a lot of time. I wasted a lot of time. I knew I should have left.
But everything works on divine timing.
Yeah, now I accept it because I wouldn't have this house if I, you know, just uprooted. Opportunities that came, I probably would not have had those opportunities. Or probably I would have had more opportunities. But, you know, it's like, you know what you're not supposed to do and you're doing it anyway. And for me, it was like a sense of like, I needed to leave, and I needed to leave for a long time. And once I had my daughter, once I became pregnant, I knew that I was not going to raise her in the United States. And so I carefully started plotting and planning exactly how we were going to make our transition. And so I you know, spent a lot of time tooling myself, getting skills that I know would be marketable in Africa, you know, investing in myself because I knew where I was going to go. And
I think that's really important, to invest in yourself.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Especially if you want to come here, because you do need a stream of income. Absolutely. So yeah. I started by looking at what interested me, and I wanted to be a gem trader. So I decided that I was going to move to Mombasa, Kenya, still on the you know, at the Indian Ocean on the coast. I was going to move to Mombasa, Kenya, and then I would come into Tanzania and trade in and out between Kenya and Tanzania. And so I had it planned. I decided I was going to go to gem school. I started taking classes in Thailand for you know, gem certification, diamond grading, things like that. So I wanted marketable skills, and I wanted enough skills that I could teach. So I began to look at Africa, what was here, and how I could fit into that. Okay, but the universe had another calling on my life. Gem school in America was a hefty amount of money, but once I had that certification, I knew I could teach anywhere. And I decided that I was not going to do that program because it was hyper expensive. Instead, I applied to film school, and I got a full scholarship to film school. Now, what brought me a full scholarship in film school was that I was already editing and doing micro docs and microfilms myself, so I already had that skill set. And I just didn't have the piece of paper to say,
You know.
Where did you go to film school?
I was in New York Film Academy.
Oh, cool. So you were living in New York?
Yes.
What part?
Westchester County.
Okay, I used to live in Brooklyn and Bed-Stuy.
Oh, okay, all right. So I have
6 years.
Yeah, you know that's Jamaicaville.
The best Jamaican food.
Yes, that's Jamaicanville, honey. Yes. So, so learning filmmaking, film craft. I chose documentary filmmaking because that's what I'm best at. I'm best at telling real stories. So, you know, when I chose that particular field, I knew that once I came here, I had enough that I could rotate across different industries. If I got tired of making commercials, I could go and shoot the wildlife. If I got tired of the wildlife, I could go and, you know, make documentaries about this particular tribe. I could go and do things that, you know, interested me. So, and I could travel across the entire continent with the skill of filmmaking. So that's why I decided to become a filmmaker legitimately. So I was doing it before, but I need the legitimacy. You know how we as Black women are.
Yeah, we always feel like we need the
extra validation. And, you know, it was a waste of time. It really is. Don't waste your time in validation. I want all my money back from all of my college, my universities, everywhere that I've spent money. Y'all didn't teach me nothing, honestly. Really, you know, you just wasted people's time and miseducating them. So yeah, ladies, don't lean on that validation, right? Sometimes you have to be your own validation. Sometimes you have to tell yourself.
That's something that I still struggle with. Yeah, with the whole validation. Even like a couple years ago, I went through this like weight loss journey. I went vegan, and people were asking me, "How did you do it?" And I know how I did it, but I felt like I needed some type of certificate to actually tell people. So then I went back to school and I became a wellness coach.
Right.
But during that journey was like this part of my journey that actually led me here. And I just started like emotionally eating and like pretty much doing the opposite of everything I know what to do for health. And I started gaining weight and I didn't feel confident to be like, oh, I'm a wellness coach. Especially I was living in LA. People were like, this skinny. And I don't know. I'm gonna edit this. This is just me.
No problem.
But like,
of course.
Yeah, it's something that I struggle with. But now I'm like, since I've been here, I've lost 60 pounds.
Wow.
And I
just by breathing.
I'm actually actively working towards it because I know the principles of what to do. But honestly, Africa is just healing. Yes. But that validation aspect of it.
It's serious.
It holds us back in a way because we're, as Black women, we are the most talented of them all.
Yes,
you know,
we are, and
we feel like we need that extra stamp of approval.
It's true, but and I don't think you should edit this out.
Okay.
No, because your story is true and it's valid, and it might be powerful to someone else, so you don't need to cut it out, right? But that is a symptom of living in an all-white culture.
Yes.
Okay, and then, you know, we live when we're amongst ourselves. Black people, white people perpetrate these ideas on us, and then the Black people around us tell us, you think you're special, who do you think you are, right? So you are not going to own that. Meanwhile, Miss Tanzania, she just woke up in her hut and she's like, I'm the queen of the jungle because I said so. Right. You know, they have this sense of pride, you know, even without any kind of paper or anything attached to them. That when they speak, you accept it and you receive it as they're telling you the right thing. You know? And I think these things, this needing validation comes from that cultural experience of living with those ideas, you know. Like for me, a lot of film directors never went to film school. Okay, a lot of editors never went to film school.
I taught myself, girl.
I taught myself as well. Okay, but you see, that is powerful. A woman who is self-taught is an extremely powerful woman, and we as Black women, we have always been teaching ourselves. We didn't get to go to university all the time, okay? We didn't get to go to school most of the time. We didn't have to go to school 90% of the time. So what is it that we're trying to fit into now? What is it that we're trying to achieve, or to say, now look at me? Look how far I've come from the plantation. When mama on the plantation, she didn't need anyone to tell her when to plant corn, when to reap peas, when to water the soil, when to make it grow. She didn't need anyone to tell her when to deliver a baby, how to deliver a baby. But now you got this, you need a piece of paper to tell you what is natural.
What is natural? Right,
because at every intersection of a piece of paper that gives you that validation is someone making money. That I am qualified and I'm more experienced, I'm better than you, so give me money to tell you how to be better than them.
And for approval.
For approval, exactly. And unfortunately, many of us who are working for the approval will never get it. Many of us who are with the approvals that we think we're seeking isn't necessarily approval, you know, for yourself, or approval to say, hey, look, I have this piece of paper. Unfortunately, that approval that you're looking for is either from a parent, from yourself, from a spouse, from a partner, from someone who you're trying to impress. And when you finish it, they still don't give a damn about you. So do you, boo. You know, even when you look at the hair braiding industry, the hair braiding industry in America, it has been there the whole entire time, and nobody wanted a piece of paper. But all of a sudden, black women, African women are making a living and taking care of their children, and now they have to find a way that you need a certificate in order to braid hair.
And I taught myself how to braid when I was 14.
Exactly.
Because it's innate in us. As black women, we just know how to do it.
It's in our fingers. It's in our fingers, and I guarantee if somebody brought a straw, we would figure out how to weave that too, because it is in our DNA, and our DNA remembers how to do these things. It remembers. Our ancestors and our mamas, they didn't just die. The blood is inside of us. You know, the blood and the energy and the memory is ingrained in our DNA, and that's the part that they don't want you to know, and they don't tell you about, and they don't try to include in your miseducation. And
I just want to say that my confidence since I've been here has just like increased 100%.
Absolutely.
Like, even just putting myself out there on YouTube and like being like, I've always wanted to create films and edit, and I just taught myself how to do it. And I just put myself out there, but I didn't have the confidence in the state to do that. But waking up every day and seeing Africans, seeing people who look like you, and not having to deal with microaggressions, not having to deal with the BS from America, from the media, from the news, from all the social media, it will boost your confidence 100%, because you are constantly seeing yourself in other people, and you're seeing your own beauty and power, and even seeing the women that are like walking down the street with the confidence that they have to hold all that stuff on their, like they be carrying like 50 pounds on them.
And pregnant too, with 3 children, and they're just walking.
There ain't nothing that us black women, African women can do. Okay?
Absolutely.
I just have to have my two cents in on this interview.
And it's very powerful. It's very powerful to acknowledge that when you're in the environment, your environment makes a tremendous amount of difference to your livelihood and your lifestyle. I mean, look at every creature that they say evolved. Look at every creature where they live in their habitat, right? If a frog lives in a pond and it dries up, it's not hospitable to him. He's going to go somewhere else, right? Mosquitoes aren't going to live where they don't have enough water. No one is going to live where they are not being loved and watered and sheltered. But somehow, somewhere in our consciousness, we have been taught to accept less, to accept being a second-class citizen, to accept being inferior, to accept, you know, that everywhere you look, it's a white woman who is the most superior epitome of beauty, and not you. This is what children.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. You were talking about how women, how we're almost like idolizing white people. They're the standard of beauty, which they're not. But that's how society makes makes you feel in America.
Yes, because if you walk into a supermarket and you pick up a magazine, any magazine, a white woman is on the cover, right? You know, when you're watching television and the ads that are coming through on TV, the most attractive woman selling a car, selling a cheeseburger, selling everything is a white woman. And now they're trying to play a little bit more to diversity because it speaks to their bottom line. But in all honesty, when you go to work for these same companies, you're overlooked, you're undermined, you're not given the opportunities, you're not given the kind of exposure that you need, and you still have to play second fiddle to the white woman. And you know, kudos to you, white woman, great on you, that's your life, nice. But I want to feel that way in a black country. I want to turn on my TV and see a black woman selling me a car. I want to see a black woman selling me some chewing gum, sell me some drink, sell me something, sell me a boat. I want to see what it feels like to have the standard of beauty being someone that looks like me consistently. Not because it's a trend, not because it's a great marketing ploy, not because it looks good now, and you know, that's not what I want. I want to be able to see my standard of beauty, which is a woman with full lips, dark skin, pretty eyes, selling me something that makes me feel included. And it makes a tremendous amount of difference. As I said before, you know, if you're living in an environment that is not hospitable to you, how are you going to evolve in that environment? How does a frog evolve in an environment without enough water? Mosquitoes die without water. So you're living in a place that has no kind of nurturing energy for you. It doesn't have it for you in the children's school. It doesn't have it for you in the children's education, in the healthcare system, none of it. So why would you put yourself through that and live like that and be second class and accept it, that that's how it is? And you do it every single day. After a while, it begins to chip away at your self-esteem, your dignity, your self-respect, what you think you can have and what you think you can't have. And so for me, I was tired of feeling that way. And it helps me to be in an environment where if somebody don't like me, it's not because I'm black and they're white. It's because they don't like me. Maybe there's something in my life I need to fix. Okay? So that helps tremendously. And that's one of the things that I think black women need to lean into in coming into Africa. Women from the diaspora, Caribbean, UK, Canada, Germany, wherever. If you're living in a society where you do not feel appreciated, recognized, or valued, you need to go where you are valued, and you're valued here in Africa.
Woo! Girl, what a beautiful, inspiring, I can't wait to edit this, to re-listen to this. Y'all, if you don't feel this, it's a soul conversation, which is why the channel is called Full Soul Travel. But yeah, this is a real conversation that needs to be had. And we are now embodying that because we're on the other side. We're here, we're experiencing that. We're releasing all the stuff that was holding us back in America, and it's real. It's like, it's almost something, she explained it, something that I haven't really been able to put into words, but she literally said it so beautifully. So thank you, Renae, for establishing this place, but also having this conversation, because
very welcome.
You're dope.
Thank you. You are beautiful.
Oh, thank you. So
you are just beautiful. Your skin is glowing.
Thank you.
Yes, you are gorgeous.
Thank you so much, and you guys, peace and love.